Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, leader? What's been going on in your world? Listen, I am super excited because we're going to be digging into a topic that is near and dear to my heart. I mean, pretty much everything that I talk about is near and dear to my heart because it's either been a personal testimony of my own journey in becoming a business owner that is very self conscious and very business conscious, and who has done the work to develop in becoming the leader that I am today. And my goal in this podcast is to really help those of you who are listening to, first and foremost, to unlock the codes that you need to create generational wealth. And in order for you to do that, we, number one, want to operate businesses from a place of purpose and not from pressure. And that's one of the reasons why this podcast episode is so important for you to take in today, because many of you have been in a place to where you've been operating your business from pressure and you've been going at it alone and not knowing what is the right help and when is it time to get a coach and what is all the hype behind coaches. And listen to me, I know that there's a lot of pros and cons when it comes to hiring a coach. And there's a lot of things that may give you the heebie jeebies or, not so good feelings because you've heard other people get burned, or maybe you've been burned, or you've been hurt by another coach you've invested and it didn't work out the way that you thought it would. And so now you have retracted back from even wanting to hire a coach. And those of you who've heard your friends and business colleagues, their story, their horror stories may have put fear in your heart to say, you know what, like, I don't want that type of experience in my life. And so it causes you to retract back from getting the very help that you need. And so in today's episode, what I want us to do is to really uncover the five signs that will help you to know when it's time to hire a coach. And I really want to cover, as we go along, some warning signs. And as I go through these warning signs will really be something that's going to help you in navigating the process and finding a coach that's the right fit for you. But then also, this is also going to be helpful for you as you are becoming more, because the way to create generational wealth is really tapping into the person who is ready to create that generational wealth. So it's less about what you're doing and more about becoming more. And we're going to tap more into that as we go along this episode. So get ready to take some really great notes and get ready for just a phenomenal experience as we tap in to another level of unlocking the codes to create generational wealth God's way. What's up, leader? Welcome to the Gifted Entrepreneur Show, the dopest podcast on the planet that explores the world of Christian entrepreneurship and reveals secrets to unlocking your unique codes to create generational wealth. I'm your host, LaDondra Hervey, wife, mom, award-winning author, and Christian business coach who's excited to take you on a transformational journey of taking bold steps to unlock your unique gifts and pursue your entrepreneurial dreams with unwavering faith. Buckle up. It's time to make your dreams of creating generational wealth a reality. What's going on? We are on our podcast episode where we are talking about the 5 signs to know that it's time to hire a business coach. Listen, I have literally had some phenomenal experiences with some business coaches, and I have literally got burned by some business coaches. Well, I don't know if it's coaches, maybe a coaching experience. No, it's been some experiences. And that's why I really want to talk about this today, because it's it can be a interesting journey as you are navigating the business coaching world. But as we go through this topic, I want you to keep in mind that I truly believe in business coaching. I believe in business coaching for several reasons. And I'm going to talk about why. But then on the flip side of that, I wanted to record this because I wanted to give you some things that you need to look out for, and some opportunities for you to really do your due diligence to make sure that you are hiring the right fit coach that is for your business and for the season that you're in. And man, I'll tell you, I've been investing into business coaching from at the beginning of my business, from the time to where I had no money. Like, I had no money to be investing in any form of coaching. I literally had just came out of my field in social work, and if anybody know anything about social work, you don't get paid much. And to top that off, I was working as a in a school as a social worker. So put that all together and you do the math on how much I was making at the time. But I had quit my job because at the leading of the Holy Spirit, and really I was kind of forced out because I waited until that job affected my health, until I had no other choice but to go ahead and resign, or otherwise it was going to have more long-term effects on my body, and I couldn't afford for that type of thing to happen. And so anyway, I started my journey and really get jumping out there with my business. And I really didn't have like all the business acumen that I felt like I needed in order to start. And so the very first coaching program that I had invested in, it was in Tennessee actually. And when I went to that one, it was from a book that I was reading. I was reading this book, and it was talking, like, I was still in these places where I was trying to figure out like what what was I gonna be? Like, what was I gonna be when I grew up, and all of the things. And so actually I first began with thinking, okay, so I knew that I was good at helping people get really great jobs. And like, getting a job was really easy for me, and I could go in. So at that time, when I was a social worker, that was by choice, but I had already had before that had high paying jobs in banking and in attorney offices and just different things like that. And so, like, getting a job was nothing to me. And so I had realized that I saw a lot of people struggling with really selling themselves and their skill set in interviews and all of that. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to start a business, because I knew I always wanted to be a business owner. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start a business and really put myself out there, and I'll start with what I know. And so that's a hint for some of you who are trying in those stages of trying to figure things out. Just start with what you know. A lot of times we are trying to figure it all out before we start, and I'll tell you that that was the best gift that I gave myself, was the grace of starting with what I knew and growing from that place. And because I literally, like, from reading the book that was in alignment with what my goals were, and helping doing career coaching, it led me to go into Tennessee, and really, where there was this business coach that he was doing business and career coaching, and he was doing a lot of the things that was in my heart, but I could not verbalize it, like, because I really couldn't find that the business coaching and all of that in the occupational handbook. I had been looking for this thing, like there was this emptiness on the inside of me, and I had been looking, but I really didn't know like what I was looking for, because there was no description to it, right? And so that experience in going out there and to that event, it really opened up my eyes to the coaching world. And I was able to network with people that I still talk to and network and friends with still to this day. And that was back in 2015. 14 when I went to that one. And then that led to me going to someone else's event who was a speaker at his event, and I learned some speaking skills because I'm like, okay, well, if I want to be successful in business, I need to know how to speak well. And so I went to his event. That led to, me learning some great things. So mind you, all of these are coaches. So one was like a career slash business coach. The other one was a speaker coach. And that event was in Georgia. And then later on, not probably not, now mind y'all, listen, I did not have money to be invested in this stuff, but I had faith and I had a vision. I had a very clear vision of where I was going and where I was not going to return. And so I was willing to count up the cost of what it meant to not invest in my next level of success and not get the clarity that I needed. Most importantly, to even define what my next level of success would look like. And those coaching experiences gave me exposure, they gave me clarity. And really, as I kept progressing on, they up leveled my mindset. And so, this very third one that I went to, it was a money certification, business and money certification coaching, and that one was in Arizona. And that one that was at up to that point, that was the most expensive investment that I had made in my business. It was $6,000 investment. And I think of maybe a couple months before that, I had invested maybe like $900 in her program, and it was delivered online. But then she was offering this certification program that was going to be in person, and it was in Arizona. And y'all literally had to roll pennies for gas money to get there. I slept in my car the very last night of that event. Like, it was at the Ritz Carlton, and I could not afford to go and stay at the Ritz Carlton, but I stayed at a nice hotel that was maybe about 15 to 20 minutes up the road. I can't remember what it was. It may have been like the Doubletree or something like that, or the Hilton or Holiday Inn. I can't remember, but it was a nice hotel, but it wasn't the Ritz Carlton, I will tell you that. But you guys, I was willing to do whatever it took for me to get that level of clarity and exposure. I can't say this enough. So if you're in a place to where you're trying to figure out, what am I supposed to be doing, and you're really trying to expand your capacity to grow into your next level of potential, but you don't even know what that looks like because your environments, the environments that you've come from, they don't support that. Like, maybe you've come from a background where there's a lot of employee mindsets in the household that you grew up. Maybe there's a lot of scholar mindsets that's all about just go to college, get a good paying job, retire. Or maybe there is a lot of scarcity mindsets. And so, that deep down in your heart, you truly want to break that generational cycle, and you want to build a legacy based business that is going to create that generational wealth that you're able to pass on to your children's children. If that's you, you definitely want to invest in your next level of growth. If you're in a place to where you're stuck, and you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling complacent, and you're like, I don't know. I don't know what this is my next level look like, but I know that where I'm at, this is not where I belong. There's this sense of unfulfillment on the inside. And so again, if that's you, you definitely want to invest in that's a sign that it's time to invest in coaching. And y'all, haven't even got to the meat of this. So I hope you're kind of picking up what I'm putting out, because I want to share this through my personal story. And so those are places where I was, right? And so I was at that place. I knew that more was available, but I didn't know how to tap into what that more looked like. And so that's why I just kept going, and I just kept investing. And man, when I tell you that one at the Ritz Carlton, that one really opened up my eyes to a higher level of earning potential. Like, I was in a room with ladies that were high level, high earning ladies who were just knocking it out of the park income wise. And so things that I'm like, oh, I'll charge $100 for coaching, they were charging five figures for VIP days, and just radical stuff that really blew my mind. Like in $2,500 for one day, $5,000 for a day. It was somebody was charging $15,000. Just craziness. It was like, and I didn't get to talk to everybody, so I know that there was even more because some of them were multi six figures, some was at seven figures, and here I am, little old me in the room. But I'll tell you that that experience really opened up my eyes to see, like I said, what was available. And that was, and for that experience, that, that was worth its weight in gold, because it was worth me staying in the car that very last night of the event. It was worth me being rolling up pennies to get there. It was worth me driving 14 hours by myself to get there. It was worth it all, because I still use those tools to this day, and that one was back in 2015. And so you guys are the if you're in that place, I want to just challenge your mindset to know that investing in yourself, it's bigger. So if you're one who wants to create generational wealth, again, you have to become the person who's ready to receive that. And part of you getting ready to receive generational wealth is, let me give you a principle from the Bible, as really understanding that we are as kingdom citizens, we are stewards of the inheritance that God has given us. And so if God is calling you into another season, and you don't feel like you have the tools, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the exposure, you don't have the resources that you need to enter into that next level, then one who is a great steward of the vision is part of that is you investing in your next level of growth. And part of that is being willing to say, you know what, God, I don't know where this is all going to come from. Like, I don't see it in my current circumstances, but Father God, you know. And your word says that you will provide seed to the sower. And Father God, I am a sower. I am sowing into this vision. Lord, I want to be a great steward of this vision. So Lord, open up my eyes to see where can I tap into the resources I need to invest in my business, to invest in my education, to invest in me becoming more. And you guys, I will tell you that I've from those experiences, not only have I invested there, to investing five figures now, like this recent year that we're in, I literally just invested five figures in my business. And the crazy part about that is, again, I'm always investing. I invest past where I'm at, right? And so I know to most people that doesn't make sense, but it for me, what I have learned is that I'm gonna tell you, like, my good friend and previous clients. Her name is Jaslyn Pipkins with Jazzletics, and she said God doesn't make sense; He makes miracles. And what I will tell you is that that is so true, because in my through my investing journey, God didn't make sense. I mean, it didn't make sense. I will say that it didn't make sense. Like, where the money was going to come from, how it was all going to work out. Like, I'm literally investing in my business and the bills are due. And I know to some people that's like, that's radical, that's extreme, and it does not make sense. But I will tell you that God has worked miracles in that process. I have literally become a person who is able to really, really trust Father God with my business, and to allow him to steward every step, to, I mean, to not to steward for me to steward, but him to direct my path in all season, in all ways. And what it has positioned me to do is to be very resourceful financially in hiring team members, outsourcing work, learning how to really come up with the money that I need to invest in my next level growth. And you guys, there's never been a time where it hasn't worked out. And so it has prepared me for the multi-million dollar business that I have been praying for. And I can tell you that with full confidence that I can literally, I know that I'm prepared for a multi-level business, because a multi-level million-dollar business, because of the lessons that I've learned in stewardship and investing, and really partnering strategically with the right coaches, and really understanding how to navigate the process, even when you, the so-called moments where it was like it didn't make sense and it hurt, and I got maybe burned a little bit by some of those situations. But I will tell you, even then there was lessons that I got to take from every single coaching experience, and every single one of them I can say that I have gleaned something very positive that has helped me to grow the kingdom empire that I have right now. And so for those of you who've been in a place to where you have been hurt, you've been burned, you, the expectation, it didn't work out how it you intended, I want to encourage you that you to stay in and stick with it, because greater is on the other side. I can tell you that God, with confidence, that he's working everything out for together for your good. And so everything, every experience is working together for your good. Every experience is working together and pulling you closer towards that vision that he put in your belly. And you got to look at things from a place to where it's not just it's a failure, but it's redirection. And that redirection is providing instruction for your next level. And so one of the things, and y'all, I haven't got into the signs. I'm going to get into the signs, but I'm really giving you signs. I'm giving you a lot of bonus content, and these things are really just Holy Spirit led, because I feel like a lot of times you just don't have somebody to sit down and have a conversation with you to talk about the journey and the experiences. And if you could have somebody that you trust to just sit down and talk to you about what has been their experience, you can learn and glean wisdom, and you don't have to make the same mistakes and sit on the sideline and not jump get in the game and really make the business moves that's going to create that legacy of generational wealth in your family. And so that's my goal, is to really just have some conversations with you so that you can to shift your mindset from feeling like, okay, well, am I right? Am I wrong? What do I need to do next? Like all of that. Like you really can have someone who's been there, who's walking their talk. And you guys, I am in next year in April, I will be in business for 9 years, and I have been consistent and consistent. I'm gonna say this again, very consistent in investing in my business in all seasons, and not like the little Rudy Poo investments, like, oh, I bought an $11 course, or no, like I've gone all the way in, because I'm one that don't like to just get the little piecemeal of things. I like to get the whole thing, right? And so I can grow into the next level, and it doesn't cause confusion. What I found along the journey is doing those little piecemeal type of things, it really starts to create a level of confusion, because you're getting a little piece of this coach, a little piece of that coach, a little piece of this off of YouTube, a little piece of this off of Instagram, a little piece of this off of Google, and it's like hard to piece it all together. And every coach has something different to say about the different things that's happening in the and how they've uh, really solved problems or handled situations in their business. And so when you really just be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to hone in on this particular this coach, see what they're talking about, and then really take it to the next level and do something with what they've given me. So one thing that I will tell you is, as you're investing, do something with what you are being given. And so y'all, let's get into I'm gonna go pretty rapid on some of these things. So 5 signs to know that it's time to hire a business coach. I'm gonna use this as we're tapping into the codes, our generational wealth codes. And we know that the codes, they each stand for an acronym. And so, one of the signs that you know that it's time to hire a business coach is when you're creatively burned out. Like, creatively, literally, you feel uninspired and you feel disconnected from your work. Like, you feel like you've been in the monotony and the grind of things, and you have been working, you've put a lot of input in and you're not getting a lot of output, and you feel now like you've been in this place to where now you're on burnout and you feel like you're really on survival mode. And again, you're not getting maybe another thing in that C is that you're not getting traction from your offer, and that you maybe you have a product or a service and not, people are not taking advantage of that, they're not biting, and it's like, okay, what am I, you starting to question yourself, like, what am I doing wrong? Is my packages off? Is my pricing off? Is it that I'm maybe over delivering, or am I under delivering in value? Or maybe there's a disconnection from what I think that they want versus what I'm actually offering. That is a sign that you need to hire a business coach, because one of the great things about a any type of coach is that they're able, while you're on the court or you're in the game and you're serving, then what they can do is they can call out your blind spots that you literally can't see. They can see areas to where maybe you haven't tapped into a certain market that really aligns with your God-given gifts, and maybe you're playing in a market that is comfortable, you're playing in a market that maybe you feel that is expected based on the product or service that you're offering, or what the industry norms have provided, or the standard that they have set out for. And those are some of the things that can be a big snare in your business. And so if you want to be out to really stand above the saturation in the marketplace, that is definitely something you want to hire a coach for, so they can call out those blind spots. Now, here's something that I will recommend. As you are considering that coach that's going to help you tap into your creativity and really help you to draw out your gifts, you want to make sure that, again, the coach is drawing out your gifts and they're giving you a framework that you can see yourself within and you can build your kingdom enterprise within. It's not this spoon cookie cutter type of a situation where, I don't know where spoon came from. I do know where it's like where they're spoon feeding you these same strategies over and over that they've taught all their other clients, because it's like this one little formula, and that formula doesn't even represent like your business, and it's not drawing out your unique creativity, your unique gifts. It's not helping you to understand how to monetize your gifts and to put it in front of the right people that really are going to understand what it is that you do. I don't care what industry you're in, there is potential to unlock your creativity. Whether you're a realtor, whether you're in CBD, whether you are in health, or you're in finances, or whatever that is, there's so many opportunities. And so a lot of times we get caught up in, oh, well, there's a lot of coaches that do this. There's a lot. Yeah, but when you really understand how to tap into your gifts, then you can rise above that saturation, and you understand what are the gifts of your offer and how to get that position, know where to, how to understand how to do your packaging, your pricing, and really put it into an experience that connects with your ideal audience, man, you're going to blow it out the water. The second sign that you will need to know that it's time to hire a business coach is that when you're the workhorse in your business, like you're literally have become the employee and not the CEO who's leading her business, or and you're in that place to where you're the bottleneck, and so of your growth. And so maybe you're just so working so hard, and you have literally become the bottleneck of your business, and you haven't had time to say, okay, what are those things in my operations, which represents the O of the codes? What are the things in my operations that I can automate, delegate, delete, or really shift and make a pivot on. And so, what we do is we really help our clients to really figure out what that looks like for them. Because when you think of operations, operations can mean several different things based on your industry. And so, this is like your people, it's your processes, it's your promotions, it's how you are getting positioned within those promotions and being effective and efficient with your productivity, with your finances, and all of that. And so, a second reason within the O is maybe you've gotten to that point to where, okay, you're experiencing some success, and it's like this rapid acceleration took part in your business, and now you can't keep pace with the growth. And so, if you're in that place, that's sign that it's time to hire a business coach, because what they will do is they will come in just like we do and help you to put those processes in place that's going to support that growth, put the right people in place, get the right promotion strategy in place that is effective, really start to streamline things and to put things in place to where you're not your policies and get the culture and just everything on one accord, so that you're not feeling like you're just spinning your reels in it just daily, like in a hamster wheel, and like it's keeping you up at night and stressing you out, like all of that. Listen, if you're in that place and you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, overworked, and you're like, I don't know what the heck, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to keep pace, then you need to hire a business coach. Do not stay in that chaotic state. Invest in yourself and get what you need so that you can enter into that next level, and you're not the cause of stumping your own growth. Okay? You got that? You got that. So you know that if you are, the first one is your creativity. You're creatively burned out. The second one is that you have either it's your operations and you become a bottleneck in your operations, or you have had that accelerated growth and can't keep pace. And so you need to hire a business coach to help you to clean up some of those operations. The third sign in knowing that it's time to hire a business coach is when it's dealing with your messaging and your marketing is not consistent. And listen, you're blending in with all the noise. And I can't say that enough, because, the word tells us is to be fruitful, to multiply, and to have dominion. And so the D for us, it really talks about it is for dominion. And a lot of times, what I have found in working with business owners, both in brick and mortar, both in around the world, online, just different surveying business owners and really understanding like what are those pain points and just all of the things, is that they have not taken dominion in their area of influence, and they really haven't solidified what it is that they want to be known for. And when you don't solidify what you want to be known for, then it's like people don't know why they should know you, and so they'll pick anybody, so anyone would do, right? And so you want to solidify your messaging, you want to solidify your marketing, and you want that to be consistent across all platforms, both online and offline. And you want to create an aligned experience that really resonates with your ideal clients, and so that you can take up that real estate in their mind. And so really about creating brand authority is about the real estate that you create in your ideal client's mind. It's the perception that they have about your brand. And so if things like what we talked about, your operations is out of whack, the perception is inconsistency. If things are like, with your creativity, as far as like maybe it's like that you don't know what your offer is and you're giving discounts all over the place, maybe it's that the perception is that you're a bargain brand, and that it really doesn't know what you're doing, and it makes people feel like, okay, anyone will do. And so you really want to get very consistent on that. And a lot of people want to fight with trying to serve everyone, and they don't take up any real estate to really specialize in the small group of niched people that they really specialize in. And I will tell you, when you can do that, People feel seen. The ones that you are called to serve, they feel seen, they feel heard, they feel validated, and they feel like you get them and they want to do business with you. They want to take your product, they want to engage with your brand, they want to really partake of your services and so on and so forth. And it just doesn't feel like you're just another weight loss company, or you're just another financial company, or you're just another realtor. We got a realtor, a dime a dozen, or they're just a coach, another coach. There's an experience that comes to mind through your messaging, your marketing, and that whole experience that you have created around your brand. So if that's not consistent within your clients, or clients can't just say automatically what it is that they should know you for, that's a sign that you need to hire a coach and to help you to get really clear on that. If your team can't even explain what it is that you do, and that's a sign that you need to hire a coach. If the vendors that you're working with, like, it's coming out and it's that they don't know, those are signs. So I'm just trying to give you some ways to know, like, when it's time, and then when it's, if you're in those parameters and it's very clear, and you're not stuck in the noise, and you will know if you're stuck in the noise when you are in that place to where, like, you're not getting any traction, or people are just going, they'll come over to this coach, they're coach hopping or they're business hopping, or they're realtor hopping, or whatever. You really haven't solidified your brand position, and so there's some cleaning up that needs to happen. Got that? Let me know if y'all got any questions. DM me. Hey, listen, this is a conversation. DM me if you got some questions. Yeah, LaDondra Hervey. That's where you can find me on Facebook, at LaDondra Hervey. Wait, at the LaDondra Hervey. And then on Instagram, it's at LaDondra Hervey. And you can send me a DM. I'm cool with that. Let's talk. All right. So let's go into the fourth sign, that you know that it's time to hire a coach, and that's when we're tapping into our E. And for us, the E in our code stand for expansion. And so in the expansion thing, you're going to be feeling a pain point of, you have a lot of creative ideas, but the execution, implementation, and accountability is really hard for you. You find yourself floundering from the day to day. And when you really go back and you look at your calendar, or you look at your day, or you look at things, you'll look and you'll be like, okay, like, I'm literally tired, but I don't even know what I've done today. Or you feel like you look at the end of your year and you're like, I know that I've done a lot this year, but I'm not really profitable. I know that I'm in this place to where I know I have a lot of great ideas, but they're not getting any traction. That's when you're having a issue in expanding in the marketplace. And so what you'll know that it's time to hire that business coach when you're finding it hard to know what to focus on to move the needle in your business. And so you know that you have a lot of great programs, you know that you maybe wrote a book, you may have a course, you may have speaking opportunities, you may have your product, and there's just so much, but you don't really know what is the thing that's going to move the needle in my business. That's when you know that it's time to hire a business coach that's going to help you to hone in and get crystal clear on the needle moving opportunities that's going to take you into the next level of expansion. Not only are you, and when I think about expansion, you guys, expansion is not just about the expansion of financially, but expanding spiritually. And that spiritual thing is that fulfillment. It's that joy where you're getting that joy and that excitement, and you have space in your day to creatively connect with your business, connect with your clients, and to connect with yourself, and to really expand to become the person again who's ready to create that generational wealth. And many of us we are so burned out with all the ideas that we have, that it becomes a restriction in our business instead of creating an expansive flow. And so if you're feeling like that, you're in that restricted place and you're floundering from idea to idea, or maybe you feel like you're jumping from idea to idea because of the market and what the trends are doing and what the industry is saying do or don't do, and you're just kind of jumping all over the place. You need to hire a business coach so they can help you to get anchored down, so your boat is not being tossed to the left and the right. You're starting to really get grounded in the things that's going to move you in the direction that you really need to go in, that's going to create expansion. And like I say, it's just, that expansion is financially, it's spiritually, it's emotionally, it's mentally, it's all of that. It's all encompassing when we think expansion. All right. The last one is all about the S. And so S is like when you've experienced, is scaling, okay? And so you know that it's time for you to hire a business coach when you've experienced a level of growth and your business is just, it's growing and you got that traction. You are, people, clients are coming to you, people know about you in the marketplace, the financials are coming in, it's like moving and you're having that acceleration. But then at the same time, you know that there's more available, but then you're having a hard time tapping into that more. Maybe you've been stagnant at six figures. Maybe you've been stagnant and at I'm just going to say another number. It's still in the six figure range, but maybe you've been stagnant at 200,000 and you're like, okay, I know that 500,000 is available to me, but I'm just having a hard time really tapping into that. Or I know that 5K months is available to me and I've been stuck at 2K months. That's when you know, and you're still in the growth stage. I'm gonna just say that you're still in the growth stage when you're like in the 2K, but when you are like really you're starting to hit that 8K and up per month, then you're starting to get in those stages for scaling. And I think that a lot of people scale too fast. And so when you scale, I've made that mistake in scaling too fast and hired too much of a team. And really what that did is that it really caused a lot of confusion in my business, and it really made me feel like overwhelmed and stressed. And I was putting out money that I didn't know that I didn't need to really be putting out. And so when we get into the scale part and it's time for you to scale and you to hire on a coach to help you to do that, what they're going to do is to help you to really understand where to invest your time, your talent, and your treasure so that you can scale to the next level. And it's going to be very strategic to you, because it's not going to be just about how we work with our clients. It's not just about, oh, you got to scale into investments and now figure out what your investment a portfolio needs to look like. Sometimes it's about scaling into your next level of sowing seed for your give back, because that give back, it ties into your legacy, and that legacy is going to create another level of acceleration in strategic partnerships that's going to get your brand known. And you, not only is it creating a level of fulfillment, but then it's also taking you to the next level and partnering with up-leveled companies that really value the give back spirit. And so it looks really different for everyone. And so that's why I really love drilling down into this part. It gives me so much joy to drill down into this part with our clients, because part of scaling is also scaling back on some of the activities that you're focusing on that are not income producing activities that you need to be delegating over to team members, and you're starting to train up leaders and your organization at a higher level, because you should have already started doing that. But if you haven't, then this is definitely the time where you want to get even more grounded on that. And even if you've been building up levels, now it's time, leaders, now it's time to kick it up a notch and take it to the next level, so that you have legacy leaders that are operating your kingdom enterprise, and they are partnering with you in mindset and in strategy and in the execution of the day to day, the month, week to week, month to month, year to year. And y'all are like minded on that scaling strategy. And so You guys, there, I could keep going on, but the point is you get the gist here, okay? And you get the gist on what this all looks like. And this is going to be that help you to get into your next level and really help you to really discern, have strong discernment on when it's time to get a coach. I will tell you that again, I just want to reiterate there's always a time, a good time to it's always a good time to get a coach. But really understanding why you're getting a coach, what, and really going in on those, the C, the O, the D, and the E, and the S, and saying, okay, so based on this framework, here's where I am, and here's why I will be hiring a coach. And then being going in and evaluating, is this coach qualified to really help me to move the needle in my business in this way? And really doing your due diligence to say, okay, so what is their street credit, and it really with through testimonials, case studies, and how long have they been in business, what is their background. And I will tell you that their background doesn't always have to say that it's that they went to business school, because I know some amazing people who have a business degree, but they don't have the business acumen that really supports in creating a successful business. Like they have business knowledge, but they don't have business experience and really having their own business organization that has you created some level of success. And so really looking at the holistic picture of that. And I will say this as well, even if you have made some investments and those investments haven't went well, I will tell you that again, I just want to reiterate this, that all things are working together for your good and for his glory, and that's for Christ's glory. And the thing about it is that the journey is always preparing you for the assignment that God is preparing you to step into. And so I will tell you that this last year when I made that 5-figure investment, I did not see the results that I expected from that. And I had my intention, but my expectation and my intentions did not get met in the way that it was promised. And this is this organization, they checked all the boxes. And so sometimes you can be in that situation where they check all the boxes, and it's like, okay, like here's my person, here's the organization that I'm supposed to work with, and it doesn't go through the way that you thought that it was supposed to go through. I will tell you that what I have found is that even in those situations, there was a lesson there. And one of the lessons that I learned through that experience is that I already had everything that I needed. Huh. And I had to pay a price to see that, because in my perception, the individual had been on all these stages and done all these amazing things. And so I'm like, okay, well, I need to clearly get under this organization so that I can learn and do all these amazing things, and then I can charge at the level that she's charging at or he's charging at. And the crazy thing about it is that I already had everything that I needed. And so really the thing about it was is that I did not have the confidence, exposure, to increase my price point to be there, because I thought that I needed more. I already had the systems, I already had the training, I already had the team. I already had the processes, the education, the experience, the testimonials, the case studies. I mean, you name it. But I had to invest in that experience to get the exposure to see that I already was equipped. And then it made it a no-brainer for me to really to increase my pricing according to my integrity, because one of our values here is about having integrity always. And for me, integrity always is being in alignment with the value that we say that we actually create, that we can actually deliver on that, and being consistent with that. And so I was able to see that we already had it. And to some, you may be like, oh my gosh, like I would be hurt. You know what? after going through that experience, and even before I finished the process, like I was able to raise my fees, and like clients literally paid me at that investment with absolutely no problem, because I was already there, but I didn't know that I was there. And so that experience showed me that I was already there. And then I was able to make some minor shifts as well to say, okay, let me own this part of my brand a little bit more, and as I own this part of my brand more, then it's going to increase more visibility, and then it's going to solidify that part where for me to really get known for the work that we do. So if I look at it and quantify it, I'm like, okay, so I was more in the D, and really being like, okay, let me solidify my space in the market, and really take on and really step into my brand authority, and own it in a way that says that I'm not questioning what it is that we have to offer and comparing it, because I didn't question it. So that's the wrong word. I'm not comparing my pricing and undervaluing it according to somebody else, because based on their experience and what they bring to the table. So you guys, even in those scenarios, don't, and you've been in those places where it's like, okay, it didn't work out, don't carry shame for that. See, what is the lesson, and how is this preparing you for the next level and the next level and the next level, and keep taking the lessons, because it's never a loss unless you don't take the lesson. Okay. And so I pray that this episode has been phenomenal for you. If you are looking for a business coach that you can truly trust, that would have your back and really be able to walk you through each and every one of these, and each and every one of the codes, and really help you to get positioned to create a business that will yield that legacy wealth, then definitely book a session with us. We would love to support you in building out your packaging, your pricing, really understanding what it means to tap into your gifts and get into alignment with your brand authority, and working out that infrastructure in your operation that's going to support your next level of growth, helping you to hone in your ideas to that needle moving idea or needle moving actions that's going to support your next level growth, and really put an implementation plan that's going to keep you accountable to that growth. So you're not looking back into 2024 and saying, well, what happened to the year? We will really help you sit down, create an implementation plan and accountability that's going to keep you on track. And then if you're ready to get on that track to scaling, we will start to help you to do it before you're ready, and get a system and plan before you're ready, because that's what's going to really propel you into that next level of purpose, and thrust you into that next level of vision, and to keep you going at it at a level that it supports that generational wealth. So all you got to do is go into the notes of this episode, book that one-on-one call, or join us in our 12-month mastermind. I guarantee you, you won't regret it. And if you need the street cred, we got the street cred for you with the case studies, testimonials, and all the amazing things. I'll drop some of those in the show notes, so you can link back to some of those case studies and how we've supported some of the other business owners who were just like how you're feeling, and they were able to make it over into the next side and really start to experience that next level of success. All right, you guys, until next time, stay blessed by the best. Did that episode feel juicy or what? If so, please do me a favor and take 30 seconds to write a review. Your review helps us to spread the mission of creating generational wealth around the world. And if you tag me on IG stories, I'll be sure to reshare the love. And don't forget to join our Kingdom Collaborators Network, where we're coming together to intentionally collaborate to grow our business. Until next time, remember, for with Christ, nothing is impossible.